Follow that.
Go.
Oh my God.
Yes, we get that question a lot. Does it hurt? Because generally when you hear pops, cavitations, and thanks to Hollywood and Steven Seagal movies and action movies, people think that bones are breaking when they hear that noise. They even think that the bones are popping in and out of place. But your spine and your body simply doesn't work like that. It's very hard to get a bone to pop out of position and put it back into position. So that's another misperception about chiropractic adjustments. What that noise actually is when a joint gets restricted and gets stuck. Basically, there's synovial fluid, which is what your joints are producing so that we can move fluidly. And in that fluid happens to be gas bubbles. So when we are changing the pressure of a joint by introducing a gentle stretch into it, it's going to open up that space. It's going to change the pressure, and it basically creates that cavitation and that noise that you're hearing. So no, it doesn't hurt. Generally, we are working with people that are in pain. And so if we are stretching and if we are putting pressure into areas of pain, then it can be uncomfortable sometimes. So be realistic. People come in with extreme back pain, and we're still gonna work with them. So the adjustment sometimes in those scenarios can be a little uncomfortable, but generally you feel better after the treatment is applied. But if you're coming in for regular maintenance, and say, just your monthly visit and your checkup, then it should be an enjoyable experience. You should feel better than how you came in. You should be able to feel a little bit more looser, a little bit more mobility. You're gonna feel some warmth from the increase in blood flow. You're gonna feel a little sleepy from the release of serotonin, so there are hormones that are released that kind of have you feeling good as well. So overall, you're gonna feel kind of euphoric after an adjustment. Paralysis, of course, we always hear questions about that too. Again, that comes into play with how easy the bone is able to manipulate out of the position or spot. And so it's protecting the spinal cord, and that's a very vital aspect of your health. And so it's going to be very strong. It's gonna be very hard in order to get that bone to put enough pressure onto the spinal cord or to a nerve to cause any kind of damage. But you have to think about how strong the spine may be, because we see MMA fighting, we see football players, running as hard as they can and tackling each other. We have auto accidents where there's way more impact onto the body, but paralysis is very hard to, I don't want to say achieve, but to actually see. You have more gross injuries. So the spine is very strong. It generally takes a, kind of a superhuman strength in order to break a bone or to cause paralysis. If you are constantly feeling stiffness or tightness, so generally as we get older, there's a natural wear and tear on your body. There's a natural wear and tear on your joints because we are, fairly active. We are moving, we are exercising, we are lifting kids, we are sitting for long periods of time. So there is a natural stress on the joints. And so as the joints start to kind of get older and there is increased stress on the joints, then naturally the joints that are producing their own fluid, they start to produce less and less fluid. And so a lot of that stiffness comes from, some wear and tear, or even when the joints kind of get stuck with one another. Let's say we're sitting in poor postures or we're sleeping in bad positions, then that stresses the spine or it stresses the joints when we're in those poor positions, and then we tend to stay in those for hours. And so there's a natural reaction. Your muscles may get tighter as a result of that. But gradually, as we progressively get older, there's more wear and tear, and so naturally there's going to be less mobility. So if you're starting to feel a lot of more stiffness now, it may be because of, what are you doing on a daily basis? You got to look at your posture. You have to look at your repetitive actions. If we are sitting in front of a computer or if we're not moving the body, then we tend to lose that action as well. Things start to kind of deactivate as far as muscles if they're being underused. So there's a natural reaction to that. And also it could mean dehydration. So there's a number of different factors. There could be dehydration that may cause the muscles to get tight. There may be previous injuries there and scar tissue as a result, and that tissue may have changed as a result of that injury, or if we have any kind of surgery, if we have any kind of implants. There's a number of different factors to the reason why you may be experiencing more stiffness, but more than likely you want to start more conservative before we get into more deeper treatments. And so the conservative approach is the chiropractic adjustment. So it's very natural to the body. Again, it's non-invasive. We're not using any kind of injections or any kind of surgery to remobilize those joints. And again, taking that mobility back into the joints is also going to affect your muscle tone, because your muscle has to move the bones, has to move the joints as well. And so if the joints is not moving with the muscles when you're trying to do a certain action, then that also can give you a little resistance, some straining, and some stiffness can come from that as well.